Fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight. Oh, wait a second, that's not in this show. Hey, it's Katie, and I finally got around to watching Sailor Moon Crystal. Last week I talked about a little website called Crunchyroll, and just in case you don't know what it is actually an amazing website where you can go and watch all of your favorite anime shows. They have the shows just 1 hour after they air in Japan, all professionally subtitled, and when you sign up for Crunchyroll Premium, you can actually watch all of the videos with no ads in 1080 HD. It's really awesome. I signed up because I really want to watch more anime, and I really needed to watch Sailor Moon. I felt like a really terrible Sailor Moon fan not having seen the new Sailor Moon Crystal. But if you guys want to try Crunchyroll free for 30 days, I have a special link in the description below that you guys can click, and you can watch all the anime your heart desires free for 30 days. Okay, so I was starting to feel like a really bad Sailor Moon fan, and part of the reason why I didn't watch it was because people said it was really hard to find. So I was really happy when I found out about Crunchyroll and also found out that I could watch Sailor Moon Crystal. So I'm gonna do a little review of what I thought. Okay, so growing up in the 90s and seeing the original Sailor Moon, I am such a fan of the original. It was one of my very favorite shows growing up, so I always had an attachment to Sailor Moon, and I loved everything about it, except when they started adding a million other Sailor Scouts, and then I was mad. But I am such a fan of the original Sailor Moon. I just am. So when I heard that they were gonna do a new, reboot of Sailor Moon, I was nervous, and I saw the trailers and I really didn't like how she looked, but I finally got around to watching it, and here's what I think. It is identical, pretty much in all ways, to the original Sailor Moon, so it totally brought me back to being a kid. And I just remember when she finds Luna for the first time and when she meets the other Sailor Scouts. One thing that they did differently, and sorry, this is a bit of a spoiler if you haven't seen it, they made Sailor Venus like a superhero, so we know about her from the beginning, which didn't happen in the original Sailor Moon. We found out about all the Sailor Scouts, and Sailor Moon was first. But in this, Sailor V, as they call her, is like this superhero that everyone looks up to, and Sailor Moon wants to be just like her. Other than that, that's pretty much like a big change that I noticed. But other than that, it's almost identical to the original Sailor Moon, and I like the original Sailor Moon better because it's like seeing a remake of your favorite movie. You're obviously gonna like the original better if it's your favorite movie. So I think that this show is really great for a new generation of Sailor Moon fans. Also, I don't really remember her being so whiny. I remember she was whiny and she cried all the time. But in Sailor Moon Crystal, I feel like they just amped up the whiny, crying Sailor Moon. It's so funny because I actually thought that Sailor Moon Crystal was going to be completely different, but it's basically just a reboot of the Sailor Moon I grew up with. Oh, also the very beginning of Sailor Moon Crystal, it was really epic and it had beautiful music, so that was really awesome. I also watched Sailor Moon Crystal with subtitles. I'm not sure if there's a dubbed version yet, I don't know. It was a very different viewing experience for me because I'm not used to Sailor Moon having a different voice and not speaking English, I guess. And I know the show originated in Japan, and we got the dubbed version here in America, but that's one thing that I fell in love with. Like, you fall in love with the voice actor who was Sailor Moon. When you're so used to something, you just get really attached to their voices, and I was just really looking for Sailor Moon's voice, and it just wasn't the same. It was really fun to watch though, because it was the same sort of storyline that I'm used to from the original Sailor Moon, but it was different at the same time, so it was like a new viewing experience for me. Overall, I'm just a sucker for the original. The animation is a little bit different in Sailor Moon Crystal, so that is something to get used to. But I'm just mad that they don't have the theme song. Okay, that is the best theme song. I love the Sailor Moon theme song, and it is not in this version, and that makes me mad. I just have to say it. I'm mad. I want her to fight evil by moonlight and win love by daylight and never run from a real fight, because she's the one who's Sailor Moon. It was just such a great theme song, and I just wish that they stuck with that theme song, but they didn't. I know why they didn't, I get it, but still, it worked. It worked. It was so good. But you know what? I bet a new generation of kids today are watching that going, oh my gosh, like I totally look up to these Sailor Scouts. And that's really all that matters, is that other generations can enjoy something that we all grew up loving. And I love it when that happens. So I can't ever say that I hate it, or you know, the new Pokemon, I hate it. No way. Because growing up, watching Sailor Moon was so important to me. I loved that show, and it's such a big part of my childhood. So the fact that they can make it today, reboot it, whatever, and kids today can watch it, like that's really awesome. It just keeps Sailor Moon alive, and that's important, especially with such a beloved character. So yes, I am partial to the original. What would you expect? That's what I grew up with. But I want to know if you guys have watched Sailor Moon Crystal yet. What do you think? Did you watch the originals, or is this the first Sailor Moon you've ever seen? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hey you, don't go anywhere. Make sure you click that button right there to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my next video. And did you miss my last video? Click right on over here to check it out.